WKG in Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fanrun Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. It's a Tuesday. Fired up, focused, and prepared with you. Tony Basilio on the one, the only. Fired up. Proud to be with you. Glad to be with you. Excited to be with you. Pleased to be with you. John Adams is in the house today. We'll get to him here momentarily. We've got a lot to talk about. I just want to say that last night was, the whole weekend was really chicken soup for this college football fan soul. But seeing Michael Jordan there and then the crying Jordan memes to come out with his girlfriend, Matt, after the summer that they put America through, seeing them get their trash just bashed in on national television last night, Matt Dixon, was really, really, really great. Was really great, Matt. That did something for me, buddy.
Yeah, they'll always have that opening drive, but from that moment on, it was about as the worst case scenario as possible, and then just totally unraveled on them there in the third quarter. No, that was a really brutal start to the Belichick era in Chapel Hill.
They should have gone down there and done what Lee Corso did when he played at Ohio State in the 70s, when Woody Hayes was there and they got a 7-0 lead with Indiana. He called a timeout, and the team went down there and posed under the scoreboard, and it said 7-0 Indiana. And Corso said after the game, he said, "Look, we needed something for our Christmas card." And he was serious because they got beat like 52-7. They got absolutely hammered. And, Belichick last night, it looked like, whoa, man, this guy's got the NFL's. Let me tell you something. You bring 70 new players in to anything. I don't care if you're playing high school ball, middle school ball, 70 new players, 70 new players.
And one of them ain't Tom Brady.
Well, Tom Brady ain't walking back through that door, big boy. We come back on the other side. John Adams joins the fray. It's going to be absolutely incredible after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we provide you personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know the type of items. Pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering is commercial storage logistics. We offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. Be more at Gufon.com. Gufon.com or check out the link at geekclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage.
Why limit great savings to just one weekend? This year, our Labor Day special lasts all month long. It's the September Smart Comfort event from Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month only, enjoy valuable home comfort upgrades at no extra cost when you install a new HVAC system or water heater to prepare your home for the colder months ahead. This September, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation or free sediment filter with water heater installation. Pipe Wrench is your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. No rush, no stress, just smart seasonal savings for HVAC or water heater installations until the end of September. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. It's a reaction Tuesday. Underreaction, overreaction, it's your call. John Adams is presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. So we welcome you back. Fired up, focused, and prepared. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, wrote a piece on the Tennessee game, which we'll unpack a little later on today. Hey, TGMD, your thoughts on, give me a couple thoughts that stand out with you globally on the college football weekend.
The biggest one was just how bad Alabama looked. Just got thoroughly whipped across the board. You know, line of scrimmage, on the perimeter, run game, pass game, like any way you want to put it. They won the turnover battle, and Florida State muffed the punt, and Alabama was really never had a chance to be even in that game and make that competitive late. So that's kind of probably a 5-alarm fire down there. Just how uninspired that team looked and getting just blown off the ball on both sides was probably the biggest takeaway. And then the other one, and it's just kind of rehashing kind of an obvious one, but having experience at quarterback and a returner there is so key. Especially early in the season, and you saw that with a bunch of teams. But the Bama thing was probably the most shocking and probably biggest storyline.
Because John, we've got to, as John Adams is here, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. We talked about this last year and the last couple of years, but really it's a brand new sport. College football is past few years. And every year is a different year. Watson Brown says it's no longer you have programs. You have teams. You know, Tennessee augmented what they have in the portal very well. Thank goodness. You know, no Hood guy, no Hood, you're in big trouble right now with your defense. He gives you a little cushion in light of what's going on with Ricky Gibson. But first blush, okay, you can overreact to things. You can underreact to things. Matt made the point on Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction after the game the other night. Alabama's offensive line looks antiquated in today's football. They're huge guys, and they're highly regarded, but these smaller ends are blowing by them and shoving them around, and they got destroyed at the line of scrimmage the other day by Florida State. Florida State attacked them like a hornet's nest almost, And Ty Simpson, the original White Turkey, had zero, and I mean zero chance back there, John. Zero chance.
Yeah, I don't have any idea how good Ty Simpson will be based on that game. I mean, I thought he was going to get broken in half.
Me too.
And keep in mind that Florida State lost its best defensive lineman, Peyton, what's his name? Peyton Patterson, transferred to LSU. Florida State, that's a great example of flipping it. And it's not about hiring a great coach like North Carolina did.
Right.
It's about bringing in that NIL money. You got to get the right guys. You got to it's all about that. Florida State has turned its program around. How good will it be? I don't know, but it could be an 8-win team. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
It could be an 8-win team. But again, we've just seen one game. Several things stood out, but to me, that Alabama game, you talk about the size of the offensive lineman. Alabama football was once predicated on overpowering its opponent.
Yeah.
Physically dominating its opponent. Now, those big guys didn't physically dominate you. That was a good, you said Hornets. Yeah, it was just like they were swarming all over. And Kalen DeBoer looked shell-shocked.
He did.
And I think he's a really good coach.
Yes.
You can't ignore his track record.
Right.
A few other things that stood out to me, how the SEC helped itself with transfers, particularly in the passing game. A&M brought in 2 wide receivers. Arkansas, Omega Blake, a guy that played at Charlotte last year and averaged 25 yards a catch, he played really well against a weak opponent, but to me it was a good sign. Taylor Green is a really underrated quarterback. He threw for 6 touchdowns. You don't do that against anybody unless you've got – he's become a passer. He went to Arkansas from Boise State as a runner. That South Florida game, that really stood out to me. What it did to Boise State, you talk about physically overwhelming a team, and Boise State prides itself on being physically tough.
Yeah.
South Florida was tougher. Florida better be on its A game. Against that bunch.
A sneaky, interesting play this week is that they're catching 17. I saw last night.
I love that. To me, stood out of all
17.
the lines.
Yeah, they're catching 17. I mean, that's the thing about it is when a bet is too good to be true, it's too good to be true. That looks too good to be true.
It does, but still, I want to watch much of Florida. I thought going into the season, Florida might be a little overrated based on how it finished last year.
Yeah.
But South Florida, the way it played, and you also have to remember going into these guys going against Florida.
Yeah.
That means everything to them.
Hey, Matt and Bri, I want y'all's thoughts on this. I'm looking at Tennessee's the rest of that schedule. We all are. But first, you got to deal with what you got in front of you in September. I don't know if you guys have looked ahead to the schedule this weekend, but a very, very interesting matchup is going to happen while we're doing the post-game show this week. And that's Mississippi State is hosting Arizona State. Now, that's a low-key, potentially very interesting football game. And here's why. Mississippi State shoved, and I mean shoved in, Southern Miss over the weekend. Now, I know Southern Miss is the days of Southern Miss are, when you can't spend. Back in the day when they could live on the JUCOs and do what they did, and it was a lot of fun in Hattiesburg. Now Tennessee gets the best receiver in the country out of Hattiesburg. That's sort of how it goes. That kid's not going to go to Southern Miss. Here's the thing. Arizona State I'm gonna make a statement tomorrow in the blog, Matt. I want your thoughts on this. I think Mississippi State right now looks like the 5th toughest game on UT's schedule. Tennessee has 6 or 7 borderline gimmies. Okay, if State beats Arizona State in Starkville this weekend, and Arizona State did not look good over the weekend, they did not look good. This game will be on opposite Michigan, Oklahoma, and by the living Vol fan, it's going to bear watching because the Levy guy can coach. They looked alive and well offensively, and with kind of our bumps and bruises on defense early, that's a league opponent. And I was looking ahead. That's going to be a night game down there, I believe, which, that's kind of a tough place to play at night. Matt, I'm putting Mississippi State on my early radar as just a game to watch. Fair or no fair? What do you think?
Yeah, that's fair. And that's probably if you're trying to point out the likely road stinker for Heupel, that would be it. Because that's kind of basically the same thing as Arkansas last year. You're a much better team, but you're playing on the road at a place that's probably going to be pretty fired up, and they've got just enough to scare you. So yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know if it's the 5th toughest, but it's certainly not just a gimme win that you just move on to the next week. That would be one to be cautionary to Heupel. Hopefully they learned some stuff last year, preparing for that Arkansas game, which was off a bye, which made that even worse. But no, I think that's fair, and that's an intriguing game this weekend because they didn't really. The final score was close, but I think Arizona State dominated a lot of that game and were up big, and then State scored some late touchdowns to make it interesting.
Yeah, Mississippi State scored 2 touchdowns there in the fourth quarter after it was down. It made it a 7-point game. But I think the line is 7 points?
Yeah.
Again, that's not a lot. In the spring, when I was just for fun looking at an easy column, what's the game that Tennessee is supposed to win fairly easily that it could lose?
Yeah.
And I couldn't come up with one because look at the track record. Arkansas did that last year.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with one.
But Mississippi State was the only one. It's one of the 4 worst teams in the SEC.
That's right.
But it's got Devon Booth is a really good running back. He had a nice game against Tennessee last year. I know it wasn't close. What was it? 19-point win.
It was a hammer job, yeah.
But it wasn't a blowout. It was just convincing win.
Yeah.
It wasn't a blowout. And you're right. I think Arizona State is going to be surprised at the atmosphere and the hostility and the volume of noise in that game. I think that's a potential upset. I agree with you.
And for us, you think about if they get through that game and all of a sudden we got to go down there and they're 4-0 and it's the last game of September, I mean, that becomes a real pick yourself up challenge. That's the difference between playing in this league and any other league out there.
If Mississippi State would be looked at as they'd be talking about them in the playoffs if they can go 4-0 and start and beat Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, they would be talking about, well, I don't know about that, Brian, but what they'd be talking about is that would be one amazing atmosphere if they beat Arizona State this weekend. From a Tennessee perspective, you need to cheer for Arizona to pull the air out of their balloon this weekend. Then you get down there and you do what you're going to do. It's still going to be, to me, a moderately difficult game simply because this Levy guy knows what he's doing offensively. He's in his second year, and they passed the eye test over the weekend. I mean, kind of like we did. We passed the eye test. And the thing about the season is first 3 or 4 weeks, you really don't know what you have. You think you kind of know what you have. Like John was talking about Florida State a second ago, and potentially they could go Florida State could go 11-1 in their league. They really could. I mean, that might have been really real, what we saw from them. Because here's the thing. Tomorrow I'm working on a piece for the blog. I'm calling them team variants from year to year because they're living in the transfer portal, but they're not doing it with like mid-level P4 guys. They're getting high-level P4 guys. And so some years it's going to work. Some years it's not. Some years you're going to be somewhere in the middle. And maybe John's right. Maybe they're somewhere in the middle this year. But one of my observations is that the ACC is probably a little better than we thought it was. Now, there's some bad teams in the ACC. I think we saw one of the three worst defenses in Power 4 football in Syracuse. I think time will bear that. I do believe. That was a dreadful defensive team Tennessee played. Matt, you can speak to this, having been there live. Give me one thing Syracuse does well on defense, Matt, after watching that game. That's what I thought.
They don't really do much.
No, their linebacking core is not very good. They don't put pressure on you. And their secondary, I mean, they got a kid back there, and we kind of exploited them and picked on them, and good for us. But like Matt wrote today, because all politics are local, let's focus on the Vols for a second. A few days later, I find myself, I don't want to say amazed is the word, but I think appreciative of how hard everybody involved had to work to look that credible. And granted, a not very good defense you played against. Not very good. And I'm not trying to diminish what Tennessee did. I'm not when I say that. But that game is thinking about how that looked, John. That's a great coaching job. And great on Joey Aguilar to get ready in that short order to look that credible out there.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a lot. We talked about it ever since Tennessee signed Joey Aguilar, and you dubbed him Joey Football. Kudos to you for that, or as Philip Fulmer would say, kudos to you for that. Yeah, I was so impressed with him. I think he has some of the intangibles that you want in your quarterback. I like what Braylon Staley did on the deep ball. Yeah, Aguilar threw a perfect ball. Well, he didn't muff it either, and he didn't break stride. I think Tennessee's receiving core could be better. I also like the way the offensive line performed, again, against a weaker opponent. One thing that stuck out to me in watching all these games, and man, I watched a lot of football. I know you guys did too, but I mean, from noon till 2:30 in the morning, I was watching football. I think Tennessee's schedule, I thought it was really favorable going in. It might be even more favorable than I thought, because I look at Alabama. That's a very beatable team.
Overreactions in week one. Listen,
yeah,
Brian was telling me today that there are some national pundits that are now saying, Bryce, share it with us, that Tennessee's going to make the playoffs.
Because Bill Conley and Andrea, I can't say her last name,
Adelson,
but she's been around forever.
That lady Mike Griffith likes, Adelson, Adelson.
They've got Tennessee in their playoff bracket. They've got one of them has Tennessee as a 7 seed. The other one has the Vols at a 9 seed.
Well, again, it's first impressions, and but the thing we keep pointing to though with Alabama is when the strength of your team looks like the weakness of your team, you got a lot of work to do. And I thought going into the season, I mean, I wasn't maybe as impressed with how good Alabama would be as some other people were, because I don't see that many game breakers, playmakers with Alabama. You look at some of these other teams, and you see a lot of that. I don't see that with Alabama. And I know it was playing without who's the running back? Jam Miller was playing without him, and he'll help them some, but
he's not
Derrick Henry.
No,
you don't hit your offense to him.
That's right.
And I looked at a good comparison would be, okay, Georgia playing obviously a weaker opponent.
Yeah.
But Georgia again looks really well coached and taking care of business kind of type team.
Yep.
And Gunnar Stockton, I think they had a nice game plan for what he does well.
Ran the ball 14 times, Sean, against a rummy opponent. And you know what? the smaller type of quarterback, what am I looking for here?
Sturdier, smaller, stockier.
The less of an NFL prospect. It seems like Kirby does his better work with those guys. I'm thinking of the 5'8" guy, the Bennett kid, who
was taller than that.
He's a little guy.
Well, yeah, he was smaller, quick. He couldn't
ride half a rides at Dollywood. Somebody told me he was up there in the summer. They wouldn't let him on the tornado.
They turned him down. No, son, it's too dangerous for you. You need to grow a little bit. Yeah, I thought, and I was Georgia's game plan is smart. I don't think you need to be running him that much. I saw way too many teams I thought ran their quarterback too much. Yeah, that's what the defense was giving them. But you won't hold up through an SEC schedule running your quarterback 15 times a game. You just won't be able to do it. You better have your backup ready. I didn't think, and I watched Arch. I didn't get to watch him Saturday. I watched Texas and Ohio State. I watched the replay of that game. I didn't think Steve Sarkisian's obviously an accomplished offensive coach. I didn't think he helped Arch Manning at all. I think. Remember how he used Arch Manning last year. He brought him in with a different package to run the ball. Well, I would have had him running. On one hand, I'm talking about don't run your quarterbacks too much. I thought they didn't run Arch Manning enough.
One of my takeaways, because I've really thought about it, I've given myself a chance. Texas is still going to make the playoffs. All they need is for Arch Manning to be okay. They'll make the playoffs. Well, and he'll be okay. I mean, they're going to figure out a way to make him okay. I'm not sure how accurate of a thrower of the football he is. We're going to find that out. Now, he's got 3 games to grow into it before the Florida game rolls around. The bottom line is this season we knew was going to be really interesting. There are people already talking about Tennessee in the playoffs after week 1. And the reason is that the Alabama game looks like it's in play. No offense to Nico there. It's a Freudian slip on my part because you guys are a bunch of frauds at UCLA.
Hey,
and Nick, you're a total fraud.
Utah looks like a playoff contender, doesn't it?
When you play UCLA, everybody looked like Vanderbilt would look like a playoff contender if they played that UCLA bunch.
They don't want any part of Diego Pavia.
Hey, Matt Dixon or his family. Hey, Matt Dixon, how big of a mistake? Because when we do things in haste makes waste. When pride goeth before the fall. Matt, when we act in pride, we get ourselves relationally, business-wise, what have you. Boy. All of us speaking. When you act in pride, you can put yourself really behind the 8 ball. How bad of a move, Matt, now that we've seen UCLA 1 game in? I'm not sure this kid's going to survive the year. And I'm not going to – I said yesterday, I feel sorry for him. I wanted to cheer against him the other night. I'm watching him thinking, your father, kid, has really screwed you. That was my takeaway. Your Big Nick and the nation of 3,000 who are living off you, by the way, have really screwed you. They've really screwed you, kid.
It's only 2,000, Tony. You overstate everything.
Dixon, how bad's UCLA for those that didn't stay up?
Their defense might be worse than Syracuse.
Yep.
And their offensive line is worse than the one Tennessee had last year by a wide margin.
Not close. Nico wasn't good. Yeah.
Whatever chance Nico had of developing into a high-end college quarterback kind of went out the window when he made this move, which is a shame to him, but he has no chance. And that was probably the worst possible matchup to be the first game to face that Utah team that's always really good on the lines of scrimmage. And they're kind of playing with an edge because last year was, they had a really bad year. So that was probably the worst case scenario for them. But no, you're right. He's not going to make it through the year because they actually called a few runs for him because they kind of had to, and he had to scramble so much. It's going to be painful watching him because he's not going to make it. He might not make it to October.
He was sad, man. It was a bad day for powder blue defenses. North Carolina, UCLA. I mean, those teams were just running through them. I think Nico. I guarantee you, they're already looking for his next landing spot and the younger brother, he's not staying there either.
I really wanted to kind of hate watch a guy. I'll tell you the guy to watch, and we're going to write about this tomorrow, is this kid from California that transferred from Oregon in the spring and went to Cal, this quarterback. That's the Polynesian to watch, y'all. That kid is the truth. The truth. The truth is on fire. John.
I didn't see any of that,
John,
Jay.
he's unbelievable. Brian, have you seen him, this kid from Cal? You will be talking about him before the year's over. Trust me.
And
you will be talking about him.
They look at these quarterbacks, they look at Nico and determine he's the best guy out there and he's the number one overall and it's got to be had by everybody. And then they completely ignore your Joey Aguilars and your guys like you're just talking about. And it's how can all these coaches miss that bad?
Kid. That guy was a five-star kid that came from Oregon. Go ahead.
Yeah,
John.
Here's another player.
Yeah.
Southern Cal's quarterback, another Polynesian quarterback. Yeah. He looked much improved over last year. That Southern Cal team, they are loaded with offensive talent. I know they weren't playing anybody, but I look for Southern Cal. I think Southern Cal has a shot at the playoffs in the Big Ten.
I'm ready to overreact, y'all. Let's overreact. 865-200-5402. Matt, with the Georgia game on deck, when Heupel starts talking about a guy missing significant time, he never does that. And I'm talking to people behind the scenes about Ricky Gibson, and I'm hearing like weeks. Are they playing like a semantical game there? Or should we be concerned that this kid's going to miss weeks, Matt? Where are you on that?
Oh, no, he's out. He's out, I would say, at least a month.
Well,
man, Heupel's not going to say that. I mean, he never says anything.
What?
So for him to come out and say that was kind of strange, but he's not going to come out. If you're going to lie, you're going to lie and err on the side of he's going to play.
John, what do you make of that? I was so surprised.
When he said he just didn't know how long he might be out, I thought he was out for the year.
Is it real? I mean, do you think it's real?
I think he's out for the year. Did he
get his?
I don't know what happened.
Is it a concussion deal?
Well,
I mean,
that's different. If it's concussion, then it could be day to day. But I just remember a couple of years ago when he was talking about Cooper Mays was day to day, and he missed the first 4 or 5 games. Yeah. So if you apply that same formula to Ricky Gibson for him to say, "Oh, he's out indefinitely," you kind of tend to expect the worst. I got a couple of emails ripping Tennessee secondary, which I really didn't understand. I think the one thing Syracuse can do is throw the ball a little bit. I believe Steve Angeli can throw the ball pretty well. So I wasn't down so much on how Tennessee secondary play, and I agree with you on Colton Hood. I think he can be a good player. I mean, Tennessee didn't really miss Boo Carter.
The kid from Georgia is the kid they hit on. The Redmond guy. For a freshman to walk on your campus in January, here's the thing about Syracuse. Syracuse has a credible offense. Like, you'll watch him this year. That Nixon guy knows what he's doing. They're going to score some points.
And they can.
Angeli's a nice player.
And they can run the ball. Nice he broke some tackles. I liked him.
They're okay with their offensive line defensively.
Yeah, they will just get steamrolled.
They're awful.
Yeah.
That's why they're going to win 4 games. People are telling me they're going to a bowl game the other night. They're going to a bowl game in my backyard when I light something up to kill my pain late at night. That's the only
unless
bowl game
you have
let's
expand the bowls by double.
That's exactly right.
What do you call your bowl game? Is that the Basilio Bowl?
You come outside tonight around 10 o'clock when I'm lighting one up, and I'll show you the Basilio Bowl. Let's go to the phones.
I'll pass.
It's direct from Lhasa. 865-200-5402. Our second day here, Fanrun. Let's go to the phones at 865-200-5402. John Adams in the house, presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com. Believe that. When you're buying, selling, or trading a home, the great Jennifer Morris, the gold standard. Believe that. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. My bad. Bad form of me. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air. All right, let's try this again. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air. All right, you're gone. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air.
Thank you guys for taking my call, Tony. This is Michael in San Antonio.
Michael in San Antonio, a sleepy little town down around San Antonio. Welcome in, brother.
Yes, sir. I've moved to the outskirts. I'm just a few miles from China Grove. I think I told you that before when I called.
That's beautiful.
You're pretty close. You're pretty close to Bandera.
Oh, Bandera's a little further west of San Antonio.
How about
Highway
that?
16. Yeah, I work in sales, John, so I'm all over South Texas.
I love Bandera.
John
I love
loves
South
Simpson,
Texas.
John,
Man. Go there every year.
Great bird watching.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Laura
it was
got some
great.
books on birds
great,
yesterday.
Yeah, great bird watching. A lot of. There are places down there where you can go camping, and you basically pay to hunt deer. You're basically guaranteed to come home with a deer. There are people fly down there to hunt.
That's like going
crazy.
fishing at Cross-Eyed Cricket back in the day.
Right. Yeah. So there are a lot of takeaways from this past weekend. I mean, there's so many of them. I don't even know where to begin, and I don't even know how many I'm allowed to have today. It's kind of crazy. As a fan, personally, the summer and the off season kind of made me want to vomit with all the NIL, stuff going on. But once the ball kicked off, you're locked back in again. You're locked in. I mean, like you were talking about fishing, the hook's in the mouth, Tony. It was awesome.
They can't kill it, man. Like, John, we were talking about the other night. You can have all this money. You can have all these Danny Whites, and that's who all these ADs are. They could give two absolute turds about the fans. Danny White could care less about you. No offense to you.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm for you. He doesn't care. He's just trying to extract as much money as he can. They can try to kill this stuff. They can take your tickets away from you. They can't kill this game. When that thing kicks off, and John, the NIL era, you and I were just talking off the air, I think it's more interesting now than it was 5 years ago.
Oh, I do too. Particularly opening weekend. You just don't know what you're going to get. It's, I mean, you see teams the first week and you think, wow. And maybe some of that will be an illusion. And some of these teams that look so good.
That's right.
You catch. I remember last year I watched the Southern Cal LSU game in the opener, and Southern Cal won a close game. I came away thinking both these teams could be in the playoffs. And neither one of them was.
Right, and and you guys mentioned earlier, you don't know what we're going to get, out of the season from some of these teams that we saw over the weekend. But we sure do know, look, who was unprepared. We do know, who looked, uncoached. We do know, we know who's going to have a long season. I think if they don't do something really quick, and that's the good thing about it. And being a Tennessee fan personally, it was a great weekend. Like Bama, UCLA. The North Carolina game last night was absolutely hilarious.
That was hilarious. Michael Jordan there.
If you wanted comedy,
Jordan.
You had it all.
You had Randy Moss up there in the booth. Michael Jordan. Jordan.
You had
whatever
the
her name
other
is.
Jordan Hudson, and Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
it was great.
And whoever came up with the crying Jordan meme on Jordan Hudson online, I'd like to give them my $100 copper card from the weekend. Hey, Brian, did you see that? The crying Jordan on Jordan Hudson? That is outstanding work.
No, unfortunately, I didn't.
Well, Matt, have you seen it? The crying Jordan on Jordan Hudson? I need to tweet that out then.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised somebody hadn't done that before, but
I have a question
the perfect
for Matt.
time to break it out.
What is it, Matt? Say that again.
It's so fitting that I'm surprised nobody had used it before, but they brought it out at the perfect time as the perfect spot for it.
That person was holding
There's a Bring Back Mac petition?
Bring back Mac. Bring back Mac. Go ahead,
Mac.
Go ahead, San Antonio.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
Speaking of Matt, I had a question for you. Are you the only one out of the bunch that stayed up to watch that UCLA game the other night?
No, I watched it.
I wrote a column on it. I was up till 4 a.m.
I was almost up till 4 my time.
I
still had juice after that. It was the longest day ever, and I still had juice after that day.
I hate it for Nico, y'all. I'm being serious now. That's a shame for that kid that his father's done this to him, man.
Yeah, but still, your he's 20 plus years old.
It's a shame.
Yeah, but you know what? He took all that money from Tennessee.
Hey, and his family's spending it.
Okay.
And by the way, Bino had a great line yesterday. The father thinks his kid's a genius at quarterback. He thinks he's Michael Jackson. But really, as a quarterback, he's LaToya Jackson.
Or Tito.
Tito. Ooh.
Not even Tito.
Nice.
Not even Tito.
Marlon. Maybe Marlon.
Whatever happened to Tito?
I'm sure he's about $3 bills.
Well, since you guys watched that game, you know, you're talking about Nico having to go back and experience what he did compared to Tennessee. Not just the game, not just the team, not just the lack of defense, not just having a team around him, but the overall environment, the atmosphere.
Well, that was
back
typical.
in the day when Tennessee would go to the Rose Bowl and play. There was pageantry. There was a good football atmosphere. It may just be me, but the other night it looked like the surrounding event, the atmosphere looked like a car show or a lowrider event. It just didn't look the same.
Here's the thing: the Rose Bowl is maybe the best stadium I've ever watched a game in.
Yes.
Just the surrounding area, the beauty. It's scenic. It's a great stadium, and then you put that UCLA team in there, and you put 35,000 people in there, and by the end of the year, there are going to be 5,000 people in that stadium.
And 3,000 of them are going to be related to the injured quarterback. Hey, Michael, thank you, brother. Good talking to you. Let's go back to our TLD Logistics phone lines. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What is that, huh?
Hey, Philly.
How you and John and Brian and Matt doing?
Philly, the crew is feeling fine, brother.
Well, congratulations on moving to 1340.
We're pumped.
Guys, what do you think Tennessee be ranked when the polls come out?
Let's see. In the coaches poll, they were 18th, maybe around 16th. They started out 24 in the media poll. I would say maybe 20, something like that.
One weekend, Phil. Here we go. It's already talking playoffs. Already talking playoffs, Philly.
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, y'all talking about Mississippi State now. That's kind of it's a trap game, isn't it?
If they're 4-0, it's more than a trap game. It's a concern.
Well,
I think
you'd
rather they're unbeaten.
You'd probably rather them not be 4-0.
No question. You want Arizona State to go in there this weekend and pull the air out of their balloon. You do not want to turn that into a difficult SEC road game, especially a night game down there. Joey football. I mean, we know night games in this league are winning on the road in this league is hard enough. Winning at night in this league is very, very hard.
Do you think DeBoer is going to make it at Alabama?
I don't think Alabama has the money to pay him to leave. This is not Texas A&M.
Alabama doesn't have billionaires, Phil, like we do. I mean, it's weird to say. Look, they were great in the old era because you only had to pay a few $1,000s, buy Tua a home, the stuff they did, Tua's family living in that really nice house down there, find somebody a job, all that quaint stuff that went on before. That stuff doesn't float now, man. That don't float.
Did y'all notice? I thought Alabama looked their team speed when it was very reminiscent of our last 10 years of Tennessee football, kind of slow.
Which doesn't make any sense because they've recruited really well and they've got excellent players on defense. It doesn't make any sense. None of that makes any sense to me. They look like they quit in that game. It's very strange.
Yeah, and last night was I think North Carolina's it's going to be a while before they get good because I don't see any good players on their team at all, do you?
Well, when you have 70 new players, Phil, I mean, how in the world is that going to work? How in the world is that going to work in any league?
And interestingly enough, the worst element, well, it's hard to say the offense wasn't any good either, but the defense, Bill Belichick knows defense. He's a really good defensive tactician. But to bring that many new guys in, you're not dealing with pro athletes now. You're dealing with college athletes. And his ability to come up with a creative game plan every week in a 7-day comes up with a creative game plan. He did that in the NFL. He won't be able to do that with a college defense. And I think for the most part, when you see NFL guys come into college and they tend to get a little too complex on defense. That didn't show for Ohio State with Matt Patricia against Texas. He had a great game plan, and executed it very well.
He has players.
But he also had an off season to put that to figure that
out. When Carolina takes this Lombardi guy out of mothballs, they've got the sideshow going on with the head coach. Some people didn't think he'd make it the last night to even see the season, the way that whole thing was kind of unraveling. And there are a lot of Carolina fans today that wish he didn't, because they got to live with the consequences now. And I'm not sure. I don't know how many games North Carolina wins.
Mac Brown looked pretty good last night.
I'd say he did.
Tony, you were talking yesterday about Boo Carter. I think Boo Carter's a lot more important now.
Hey, Matt, share with the living listener your thoughts on Boo Carter and what you came up with today in the blog, because I echo it.
Yeah, well, like Philly just said it, he becomes really valuable and really kind of a need now. You're hoping going into the year that maybe that's kind of an accessory and anything you get extra, but he's almost got to be a starter now, or at least a guy that plays a whole bunch going forward with all your injuries. I just think it's interesting how kind of disengaged he is most of the time on the sidelines. That's just odd. And, there's a time when Willie Martinez was giving him a lot of hands-on coaching when he came off the field, but to just not be around the defensive guys and in that kind of group of subs ready to go in whenever he wasn't in the game was just really strange to me for a guy that's trying to work his way back in.
Phil, the thing I say about Boo Carter is this: if you're going to make the deal to keep him on your team, he has got to be returning punts for you in the Georgia game and going forward. I don't care. You decided to keep the wheels on him. It's a deal you make as a coach at this level. And if you decide to keep the wheels on him, the proving a point stuff has to end when you start playing the real games. You can do that against Syracuse, put a freshman back there and catch your punts. Bino made the point that they obviously told the freshman, hey, you just catch your punts. Leave it driving to us, as the old slogan goes. John, against Georgia, they got to put Boo Carter back there because he can break a game for you.
Well, yeah, playmakers to become more invaluable than ever against a team like Georgia, because it's not the kind of team you line up and drive 75 yards in 14 or 15 plays, I don't think. That really stout defense, well-disciplined as usual from what I saw. I thought you could send a message to him by saying he's suspended for the first game.
Which is what they did anyway.
Well, right. They sort of did it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He played.
That's right.
I think you send a strong just suspend him. And I agree with you, though. Suspend him one game, comes back, well, then he's all the way back. Once you say, okay, you're with us now. However, to Matt's point, that's not a good sign if he's disengaged on the sidelines. This is you can't pout in college football.
We know this is probably going to be his last year anyway. Might as well get something out of him while he's there. That's the way I look at it. I mean, it's a business decision for him one way or the other. He's got to play good enough that he'll get a higher dollar somewhere else. I mean,
how can someone who went through the summer not even around, how can he be pouting? You'd think he'd be eager to be engaging.
I don't know, Brian, but I'll tell you this. He's on my team. That Georgia game, I take my cue from South Carolina. South Carolina, with that punt return, broke that game open the other day against Virginia Tech. That was a one-score game in the fourth quarter. I put him back there, and I even try to figure out a way to get him involved with me offensively in this Georgia game. And look, if you're going to make the deal to keep him, and you're going to make a compromise to keep him, which is a compromise to keep him, that's a compromise.
I was looking at South Carolina's schedule. They got a path to playoff.
Maybe. We'll see.
I think South Carolina's overrated.
Yeah, I do too.
Couldn't run the ball. Rushed for 119 yards in that game. Really missed the Rocket Sanders, I thought. And so they're consequently they're putting even more of a load on Lenora Sellers.
I don't like Rocket Mortgage Sanders. I go with Gary Sturm. Anything else for us, Philly?
One more thing. Who's better, LSU or Georgia?
Oh, LSU is.
Georgia is not even close.
It's not even close.
Not even
close.
So,
LSU's better everywhere than Georgia.
No, not even close.
Did you watch the Clemson game?
I tell you what, both those teams are going to the playoffs. 865-200-5402. I just think Georgia's the elite of the elite. I think it will be interesting, though, to see how LSU's season transpires. Two excellent defensive lines, and LSU's made themselves a lot better on defense, John. Those pickups in the portal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they spent the money. You got to hit on them, though, when you spend the money. We'll unpack that as we continue. I'm going to let Matt and Brian answer who the best team in the SEC is. I still think it's Georgia. We'll do that when we come back on the other side. Bry is fired up, focused, and prepared. Bry has my Vols in the playoffs. I'm pumped right now as we continue with more on your Tuesday. John Adams, presented by Jennifer Morris. Next move, SmokyMountains.com after this.
Hey, Tony B listeners. I'm Billy from Grade A Grounds, a UT grad bringing Knoxville a better way to raise money. We roast premium coffee fully branded for your team or cause. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% to local needs. Let's win on and off the field. Visit gradeagrounds.com to start your winning fundraiser today.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer states by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka, and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka, distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place that's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289C Fanrun Radio.
John has a rather astute observation on me, and then we'll go back to the phones at 865-200-5402. John, share your astute observation regarding myself with Matt Dixon, because he enjoys this. Hang on one sec. That's you. Go ahead.
Do you turn me off or something on
I
that?
turn everybody off.
Well, no, I'm not speaking figuratively.
We were all off.
Literally. Okay. Yeah, it looks like he's got 4 drinks here. I'm guessing a bottle of water, maybe coffee in that black cup.
There's coffee in there.
Then there's Fresca.
Established 1966. Fresca.
What about Polar?
Polar 100% natural seltzer, and I'm drinking the lime version. You ever had it?
No, I don't want any. What? Why? Why
all
all that?
Matt used to love the old Periscope days. Matt, how many drinks would I drink at one time, Matt, in the old Periscope days?
I mean, it'd always be at least 2, usually 3, just kind of situated whatever part of your desk you're looking at that moment. It's very odd, but it's kind of fitting for you in a weird way.
Yeah.
Is there an open bottle of barbecue sauce up above you, John?
All right, let's go around the room. One night I broke a Calhoun's glass bottle barbecue sauce. I broke it on the floor
Raymere
here.
looks like a spare rib.
Well, I mean, he brought me a drink. I didn't even walk.
Let's go to the phones at 865-200-5402. Before we do, John mentioned LSU and Georgia. Georgia's still my best team in the Southeastern Conference till they prove otherwise. But I will say this. I think LSU put themselves in a spot to make the playoffs after watching the other night. I think both Clemson and LSU, I think it was a very high-level football game. Just like Ohio State and Texas, I think both those teams are going to make the playoffs as well.
Those were 4 playoff teams. And I thought that going in, and I think, of course, we don't know what will happen with the injuries, but Ohio State to lose as much as it did, that was just a reminder that they are never going to come up short on talent.
We're not playing at Ohio State. We're not, it's like we're not playing with you. Let's Matt, who do you have? Georgia or LSU? Or if you have somebody else, who's top dog in the league right now?
Right now, I mean, it's easy to say Georgia. I actually would give it to LSU right now because of the experience at quarterback with Nussmeier, who I thought was really, really good the other night. And just kind of was in total control, getting everybody lined up and making adjustments. And he was taking the check downs. He wasn't forcing things, which is what was his biggest issue last year. Now, in 2 or 3 months, I'd lean Georgia more, but I think LSU's a legit. I think they're in the playoffs. Maybe they win the SEC. I think they're really, really good because they've made massive improvements defensively.
The reason that game felt like an SEC game is because Clemson has a tremendous defensive line. Neither team could run the ball. And that's what these grind them out SEC games are like. When they take your running game away from you and they force that quarterback to make plays, and both teams kind of abandoned it and just started slinging it around. John, you were talking about before, and then we go to the phones. Brian, who's better, LSU, Georgia? Because I want to make a point here on officiating.
Well, I have to say I have to go with Georgia right now, but
even with that, the difference in quarterbacks,
John, it ain't personal.
Yeah, I think Georgia's made some improvements off last year. I think they're going to be better than last year.
Yeah,
so
they're going to be elite.
The better than last year is going to be the best team in the SEC right now to me.
And so here's the thing: the officiating the other night in that LSU Clemson game, how they go to that replay, and they're trying to replay whether or not a guy hits a pylon. Okay, the guy hits a pylon and it's a touchdown. Now all of a sudden, he's got to run over 2 photographers and control the ball all the way to the ground while he's hitting the guy with the parabolic mic on the sidelines. Now, what the hell is that? What have we done with replay when that's not not the intent of replay? What kind of call is that?
It's unbelievable. And here's the thing, and I've seen this before. Remember how the rule states you're supposed to have indisputable evidence.
Yeah. He hit the pylon. It's a touchdown. You broke the plane of the. It's like breaking the plane of the goal, John.
Even if you just called it not a touchdown, in real time, on the field, you still had enough grounds to reverse the call and say that's a touchdown. I saw so much football I can't remember, but there was another play in another game. Maybe it was that South Carolina game. That they missed. I think is that right, Mac? It was Matt. It was after.
That Nick Harbor caught a pass going out of bounds.
Yes,
had the feet in, controlled it, made a football move, and then it kind of wobbled once he hit the ground. But had already scored it and was out of bounds.
What are we doing?
I couldn't believe they overturned that thing in that LSU game.
That's
it looked like an obvious touchdown, but not. I think they marked him out at the 1, and for them to overturn it was just egregious. Which I've actually noticed the official, like the rules guy that they have, which is totally useless.
Awful.
They've actually been going against the call on the field a lot more this year than they have in the past.
I think
they'll wind up being wrong.
They've been told to do that.
I think they've been coached to do that because really, what's the point of having them if they're always going to take up for the officials?
That's exactly right. And they're an embarrassment. The guys in the booth are an embarrassment. The people in the the people that are helping the networks, I'd rather listen to a sideline reporter talk, and that's saying something.
I know.
And that's really that's bad. And the thing is, if you hit a pylon and you tell me that's not a touchdown, where that's always been a touchdown, you caught the ball, you hit the pylon, which is breaking the plane of the goal. That's a touchdown.
How much are you asking
asking
of a receiver? Do you expect him to make the play, get up, and go hand the ball to official, and then he's completed
and then
all
it's a touchdown? Yeah,
I mean,
or maybe John, you got to hand the ball to the official and celebrate.
Okay,
you know, I mean, this is
touchdown.
Like,
yeah.
One other thing, Matt, in our game, okay, that punt hit the up man. First of all, there are context clues. Syracuse responded because they knew the ball hit the up man. Okay,
it did.
There were context clues. That's one. The guys on the field knew it happened.
It hit
his twice.
It hit his towel.
It hit his towel, which
and
moved,
that's considered
and
part
it hit his ankle. That's right.
His towel, but that to me was a clincher. It clearly moved.
Why do we have replay? If you're
not
going to call that,
exactly,
and we're going to slow these games down, and we're going to have 5-hour football games, and we're going to watch everything. How do you not call that? I mean, just as an observation,
it's as though the replay guys are trying to justify their existence.
John, that over officiousness in the LSU game is why I hate replay, because that's a touchdown. That's always been a touchdown.
You know what happens too?
Over officious.
It's unfair to the officials that on the field. I think they make it sound like, home cooking going on, game at Clemson here. Yeah. Because that could have. It looked like that might end up deciding the game. And what's interesting is after that, LSU had to settle for a field goal.
Yeah.
And the kicker got hurt kicking the ball.
Yeah.
If they'd have gone into overtime, and that was a 17-10 game, if they had gone into overtime, I don't know if I hadn't read anything on it. I don't know how bad the kicker was hurt, but he might not have been able to kick, and Clemson would have probably won the game.
Brian Kelly's game management at the end of that first half.
Oh, my gosh. That's
a new thing now in football. We are not going to kick a field goal. If it's 4th and 2, 4th and 3, everybody's going for it now, Matt. Even in that game, Matt Dixon, what are you doing going for it on 4th and 3 with Clemson's defense there, Matt? Why don't you just kick a field goal? What are we doing, Matt?
I'm not sure. They called a timeout, and then they came out and threw a screen that didn't make it. But even if he makes it, you've got to hurry up and spike it, and then you're just kicking a field goal anyway. It was an awful play call, and that on top of it, just an awful decision to try to go for it.
We go to the phones.
Texas did that too once or twice. I know they got stuffed at the goal line at least once.
They did.
It's like you got the analytics factor because it removes their judgmental. They don't have the pressure. They said, we'll just go with the metrics here. And so it tells us to go for it here. So that eliminates a judgmental call. They don't have to think. I mean, come on, know the situation, know the opponent, know your team. You don't do that against Clemson.
Hey, John, we were raised that you never chase points, and it's still true. LSU got away with it the other day. You get in these championship games. Now, look, time and place. There's a time to go, obviously. But that's just simply chasing points. Because as Matt said, he's tackled the middle of the field. The ball's on the ground. They're hustling to get up, and they're going to kick a shorter field goal. That's asinine. I mean, that's like vanity. And that's another thing these coaches are doing now is they're showing each other how big each other's whats are.
Yeah, it's
and
a
that's
macho.
What the games. It's macho man.
It's a macho thing.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous because it's stupid. Because it's dumb. But let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. Our TLD Logistics phone lines. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey, Tony.
Yo.
Hey, Catfish Hike here, people.
Catfish Hike, welcome in.
Yeah, I've talked to you there before. It's been a while. But, I was going to say, I've got sympathy for you on that psychotic nerve thing going on. I've got a bit of an issue with that myself. Not as bad as you do, but...
apparently that's in the water, man. I know a lot of people that are fighting that this summer. Apparently that's in the water, man.
Yeah, it'll catch off guard, and it's caught me a couple of different times where it's brought me down to my knees and couldn't even hardly breathe with it and stuff. So I know how that goes. So got quite a little bit of stuff I was wanting to talk about.
Yep, go for it, man. Take your time.
First of all, I was going to bring something up to you last time I talked, and my apologies to you there when we was talking about the Boo Carter issue and talking about when the rumors going on the social media. And I remember I've seen where you said if it was a rumor, you wouldn't be talking about it. And I wouldn't necessarily mean towards you, just the social media itself where it was all out there. So my apologies to you. I wouldn't.
Oh, no. Listen, you don't have to
make
explain
anything
yourself.
bad towards you or anything, so I apologize.
Because you're right. Look, social media, people were saying this guy was involved in gang stuff. They were saying he got arrested in Chattanooga. They were saying, that's why I put that. Part of the reason why I put that video out was for some clarity. Because if you go back and you look at that YouTube video on our YouTube channel on Boo Carter from several weeks back, I basically said, hey, look, this guy's been away from the team, but y'all need to quit rumor mongering on him. I need to quit saying that the guy's doing gang stuff and he's going to get arrested in Chattanooga. I mean, none of that was true. But here's the problem, though. Here's the problem we have. And you fight this on all accounts. John knows, we all know, that kind of gather information. You have to be able to separate what's fact from what's fiction, and it's becoming harder and harder and harder in the day and age we're living in, because when somebody reads something on the internet, it's true. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, no doubt. I've want to bring up some stuff that y'all talked about before, but and I know there's going to be some disagrees with it, but we're in this new age of football now with the NIL and the transfer portal and stuff. Of course, we've had the transfer portal there for as it is, but the NIL thing, when it first came in, I didn't like it because I thought, well, it's going to ruin it. Because it's going to be just like the NFL. Players going to go, where they're getting the highest bit of money and stuff. And to me, that basically that's what's going on, because you can have a player with you that season, but ain't no guarantee he's going to be with you the next season. So it's kind of like, we better enjoy while you can that season, because you may lose him to another team. That's what I hate about it, because it's it's all about the money now.
Well, another thing, and the other thing it's about too is opportunity.
Yeah,
it's money and opportunity. And I'll give you, for instance, I was talking to a buddy of mine, it's a longtime coach. He said, Tony, the difference between Joey Aguilar and Nico, from Heupel's perspective, is you couldn't hard coach Nico. They couldn't hard coach him. They're going to hard coach this Joey Aguilar guy. They're going to drill it into him, John. They could not hard coach Nico, because you're always afraid that these guys are going to get up and run on you. And that is the damn truth, man.
Well, that's also an advantage to having a quarterback. And you see this fairly often, is a quarterback whose dad was a coach. So Nussmeier's dad was a coach, for example. They are used to hard coaching. They can handle it. You need to be able to handle it as a quarterback. And I bet, just a guess, I bet Josh Heupel really likes working with Aguilar, because Aguilar is just going to be open to it. Criticism is not going to bother him. He's been told you're not good enough wherever he's been. So the idea of just having a guy that coaches him hard, he's fine with that. He's happy to be here.
Yeah. It seems like he's doing a pretty good job. And you can tell Joey was comfort out there. So, I mean, it's just like y'all been talking about. He seems like he's fit for the system and all that. He's really taken up with it and everything. And so I'm really interested to see how he's going to do in the Georgia game, because that's really going to be the true test right there after they get past this weekend and everything. So that'll really be interesting to see the whole team, to see what to do in that game right there. So, but he's really taken up with them, and it just seems like they're going good. And it was a good opener this weekend, So, but waiting on the Georgia game, see what that brings, anyways, with that, and maybe that'll speak high volumes of see how the rest of the season's going to go. But hopefully it'll turn out pretty good, whether they win or lose it. But just to see how they play, it's going to speak a lot, I think, about it too there and everything. So hopefully it'll go pretty good with it.
Thank you, Catfish. You got anything else for us?
The transfer portal, I think they should just have that thing one time, like the springtime, instead of having it twice. I think they should just do it one time and then that be done with it, instead of having it twice like they do. And, if they're going to enter it, then enter it. And once it's closed, no one else can leave, And, because it seems like it's when all your main players are coming and going anyways. And then afterwards, shut it. And because, it just seems to make sense like that. That's just the way I look at it anyways.
Thank you, my brother. I would go a winter portal.
Well,
and a limited spring portal.
I don't think that'll hold up in
no,
court.
It won't.
Won't hold up in court.
It won't. Until they collect a bargain.
No, that's
somebody's going to sue to get freedom year round, and they're going to get freedom year round. That's the other thing that's going to happen. Why do you decide? If you don't have me bound by a contract, why do you decide when I can leave and when I can't leave? I can quit my job anytime I want to quit it.
Tony, we were talking off air about how the NIL. I know fans hate this NIL transfer portal.
Yeah.
But when the games start, it's as though you're unwrapping Christmas presents.
Oh, no question.
You don't know what to expect with all the transfers coming in. I think it makes college football more exciting. Worst case scenario, though, to me, is when a quarterback in December, if a quarterback or another key player says, now, I've been getting paid for my regular season work. I expect more now that we're going into the playoffs.
Well, there was a rumor out there, right, which I don't think is true, that Nico and his family went to Tennessee and said, I want more money for the playoff game. I don't, and didn't subscribe to it at the time and don't subscribe to it now. But what's stopping one of these people from doing that? The answer is absolutely nothing. Orange Throat wrote, Matt, and I want your thoughts on this. The big mistake that Nico and his family made is they should have left. They should have left in the winter, and they wouldn't be in the predicament they're in now. But that assumes he had a taker. I think the rest of college football kind of looked at him, looked at his father, and said, you are not worth it. They tried to leverage him to Miami before the funny-looking guy that looks like Don Felder from the Eagles, who's down there now. They tried to leverage him to Miami, and Miami said, no, thank you. And they called Tennessee and said, hey, this kid's trying to do this. They tried to leverage him to some other SEC teams that basically said, no, thank you. I wonder what the market was really like for him in December, John. Isn't that an interesting thing to think about?
Oh, I thought that was very revealing. I think particularly since Miami gave Carson Beck all that money.
Yeah.
Because, Carson Beck was not having a great year. He threw 12 interceptions in one 6-game stretch. So you think, well, how sought after is he?
Yeah.
Miami looked at him and said, yeah, we want that guy. And I thought he played better against Notre Dame. He looked better to me with Miami than he did for Georgia last year, I thought.
This thing is I think the transfer portal. I'll give you another example. The other night, Martavius French was very good in the Colorado game. Now, who is he? He's a guy. Hey, Matt, am I wrong? Did he sign with Pruitt, or am I imagining that? Has that guy been in college football for 9 years?
I think so. I think he was part of the.
I'm not kidding.
They got 3 guys from his high school, and Jabari Small was one of the other ones. So yeah, that would have been a Pruitt guy.
So they had a guy from here who was balling out, and we had one of their guys who was balling out. The thing is with that transfer portal, John, you just need to win your fair share. That's all. With the transfer portal, I just need to hit on my fair share. And you know what? Tennessee did that. That Pendleton guy did a really nice job for them over the weekend. And that guy looks like John Wilkerson, that photo they show of him, which is kind of next level. But they've done a really nice job of identifying guys out of the portal. Their secondary is wrought with portal guys. Their defensive line, they've got some key portal guys. This Moy guy is going to be a real nice player if he can stay healthy.
Well, Moy, he looked like a good acquisition on paper.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his resume and what he did in the Pac-12, but I really like Pendleton. Notre Dame had a good offensive line, and he was a starter at one time, then lost his job, and he was hurt. So to me, I thought Tennessee's offensive line was better than last year,
and it was reworked,
and without Sanders either.
And without Sanders,
but here's the thing we don't know, and I'm gonna caution everybody. Again, people think I'm trying to be a joy killer here, but I'm just kind of gonna say it like it is. Stanford, UCLA, and Syracuse are the worst 3 defenses in Power 4 football, and it's really, watch the season. It's not going to be close. Syracuse, UCLA, and Stanford are 3 dreadful defensive football teams. And so
you're talking Power 4 here.
Power 4. What you saw Saturday was very impressive from the Vols, okay? Because just to go out there and to do what they did and execute without committing a bunch of penalties is impressive. To do what they did with only 1 turnover was impressive. For Joey Aguilar to look the way he did with the passing game was really impressive. There's a lot of things. So I'm not taking anything away from the Vols, but we have to temper it. And then we also have to temper this we're going to beat Georgia thing. But I'll tell you this about the Georgia game. To me, John, the Georgia game's a roll of the dice. It's a scratch of a lottery ticket. Stranger things have happened in this league in the last 5 years than Tennessee beating Georgia. Stranger things have happened. Even though I do think Georgia's the best team in the league, stranger things in the league have happened because that's Gunnar Stockton's first start on the road. This crowd's going to be, by winning the Syracuse game, you're going to have an amazing atmosphere in that place. And it's kind of what college football is all about, which is just give me a scratch of a lottery ticket in my building.
Yeah, here's the thing about the Georgia-Tennessee series. Tennessee's lost 8 consecutive games to Georgia. Really, it wasn't even competitive in those games. I mean, Georgia. I mean, it had a good first half. I guess it was in 2020. Pruitt's last year.
Close game.
Tennessee started out, I think it was up at halftime, and then Georgia scored 27 unanswered points.
What's weird is Tennessee always scores first in that game. Like always.
Well,
and then just gets blown out.
Matt has this thing where he thinks that Kirby, back from his playing days, where Tennessee wore them out. Kirby has this thing where he triple circles Tennessee. His guys, hey, Matt, his guys play like their hair's on fire against us for some reason.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yeah, Tennessee's a game that his team's always going to be up and ready to play that one.
For some reason, John, I don't know why, even when we're like a have-not and they're a have, they circle that damn thing.
It's from his playing days.
I think most coaches are like that. I think Steve Spurrier was like that.
Yeah.
He just went after Georgia with a vengeance when they had Ray Goff.
Because they played all the time.
Yeah, and Georgia wasn't that good.
Right.
They're bigger rivals back then. Tennessee was a bigger rival for Florida. But when they went out against Georgia, it was like the goal was not to win. It was to embarrass Georgia.
I remember that one year in the mid-'90s, Georgia wore those black jerseys, and they went out there against one of Spurrier's teams, and Spurrier beat the living hell out of them. And they scored like 55 points, and they were still throwing the ball at the end of the game. I'm like, what did this guy do to you? What did this guy do to you over here?
But you're right, though. That's right. You go back, you look at most coaches.
Yeah.
That sticks with them. When you're an SEC guy and you grew up in the SEC and you played in the SEC, you remember those rivalry games.
W. Lynn, welcome in.
How my friends compatriots doing today?
How you doing, brother?
Tony, I got 2 more things that are real impressive. Yeah, there was only 46,000 fans down there at Tennessee's game, but over 40,000 were UT fans. That's over 40,000 going to a neutral site.
There's no doubt about that. What you're doing, putting Syracuse in the Georgia Dome, hey, Matt,
ridiculous.
They had about 900 fans there, Matt. Like, what are we doing? And how do they make money off that? Like, wouldn't you want to put somebody in there Georgia Tech and South Carolina had a nice crowd on Sunday. They had the place almost full. Wouldn't you want to put somebody in there that's going to draw some people?
Yeah, you want to get. I mean, you could get another mid-level ACC team if you want.
Proximity. Somebody with close proximity, right?
Here would have been a great matchup.
Yeah.
North Carolina and Bill Belichick. Yes.
Now we're talking.
That would have done it. That would have filled the place.
Now we're talking.
Other impressive thing, Tony, is our entire offensive line had to shift to different positions due to an injury, which is impressive.
No doubt.
I heard something earlier this morning about North Carolina, and I call him now Bill Cradlecheck. The last time North Carolina was routed at home this bad when favored, his girlfriend was in the 6th grade.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I'm telling you, he's looking for a younger kindred spirit.
Yep. Kelly Kapowski, maybe.
Who is that?
And this is a bad weekend for football, but there's some interesting ones in the SEC. You mentioned Arizona State at Mississippi State. I definitely want Arizona State to win that game.
Yep.
Ole Miss at Kentucky's interesting. Kansas, Missouri. John, that's the outlaw Joseph Wales game. The Jayhawkers against the Quantrell's Raiders. You know about that, don't you, John?
Of course I do, WLM. But I tell you, the Missouri-Kansas game could be really entertaining. Jalen Daniels, who's played quarterback for Kansas since early 1900s.
Since the Civil War.
Yeah, since the Civil War. They got but that game, and I think the game of the day to me is Oklahoma, Michigan.
Yes.
Oklahoma's schedule is unbelievably difficult. I don't know how Greg Sankey could have made that schedule with a straight face. Yes. I mean, he had to be laughing. Look what I'm going to do to our newbies. Look what we'll do to them.
Well, we're going to treat Texas with kid gloves, so we're going to pound Oklahoma's face in.
Oklahoma, I think, plays Auburn early on.
Yep.
And it plays Michigan in September. That's the easy part of its schedule.
No doubt.
I know it. Yeah, and another interesting one is Vanderbilt at Virginia Tech. Just to see how those two, I have no idea how those two teams really are.
How about it, Matt? That's a sneaky good SEC slate this weekend, Matt. Do you buy in?
Yeah, there's some intriguing games. So, yeah.
There's some meat on the bone.
Yeah, South Florida at Florida, we've talked about quite a bit. That's going to be interesting.
Yes,
so,
it is.
But man, I looked at the Big Ten and all the others. They're playing hoopties. I mean, it's ridiculous.
How they're getting away with this with the TV networks, these big four leagues this weekend? Because there are some interesting games. Because we're looking between the margins, but you got to look between the margins. Because this thing is embarrassing this weekend, Matt.
I think there's only 9 Power 4 versus Power 4 games.
What?
I think, if I'm looking at the schedule.
So it's like
I'll go back and check.
We call this weekend payday for the 1AA teams. That's what it is, payday. How do they get away with this, John? How?
The networks, man.
They put up with it.
If you're a network executive, aren't you just saying, we can't. You want this much money?
We're paying you billions.
And we're putting this game on television?
We're paying you billions. Not millions.
And that's why we're on SEC Plus with ETSU. Because we're not on a network.
That game ought to be on somebody's toaster, going through some 14-year-old girl's braces, for crying out loud.
And I heard we're going to let our punt returners run wide open this weekend, returning punts.
There you go.
So how do you – the SEC, does it still have that alternate channel? It did in the past, remember?
I called it alternative.
No, they don't have that anymore.
Oh, okay.
SEC alternative.
But see, once you had it, they didn't even use it because then they forced you to buy the SEC Plus.
That's right.
I'd rather go back to pay-per-view where we had that guy telling us we were kicking a 6-yard field goal one year.
The late, great Bob Bell. They're lining up, he said, for a 13-yard field goal. One of the most next-level things ever. And W. Lynn, thank you, because that's a great memory. And he used to also say, next week's game is on ESPN 1, which I loved. Because that was
Randy Smith said the 16-yard field goal, and Bob Bell said ESPN 1.
Randy Smith, who was really one of the more arrogant people that's ever talked into a microphone. No offense to him.
Oh, man.
Wherever he may be. He used to be so dismissive of fans on that call-in show, Brad. Do you remember that? Just a mean, surly guy.
Just a bad person.
No offense.
Jeez, you guys, I mean, character assassination.
No. Matt, do you remember him on the Vol Network, Matt, how mean he would be to fans? Just mean.
Jeez.
It was unbelievable.
I don't, but I remember him from those CSS broadcasts. Usually, the CSS broadcasts. I remember him doing some of those.
And he did say a 16-yard field goal, to Brian's point, because we laughed. We laughed and laughed. So it wasn't Bob Bell. Bob Bell was ESPN 1.
Yeah, he also didn't know the rules of the game. If there was a game where Tennessee got a turnover, and then the other team recovered it back, and he was wondering why they didn't go back to where the original line of scrimmage was. He was confused about where the ball should be stuck.
Brian's a big Randy Smith fan. I never knew this.
Brian, can you
called him a bad guy?
Well,
I mean,
everybody has pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
All of us do. Brian, what are some of Randy Smith's pluses?
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Hello and welcome
Madison in Texas.
Hey, welcome in, brother. Good to talk to you.
Always an honor to follow the great W. Lynn. Great call from him. So, guys, I just had a couple thoughts on the game I wanted to share, and then I wanted to kind of share some sheepish opinions, and we can kind of have fun with that. So, to start off with, I really see a lot of parallels between this game and that NC State game, but there are also some differences, right? When we watched that NC State game, what I took from it was, this is a glorified FCS team we're playing. I mean, I can't draw any parallels from us beating the crap out of NC State because they're awful, right? That's what I thought in the moment last year, and I think that ended up aging well. With this Syracuse team, guys, I mean, I think there's some talent there. I do think this win's going to age a little bit better. They've got some players on offense. They've got that Jonte Cook, 5-star receiver from Texas. They got the running back. The quarterback's pretty good. So I think they've got some pieces there, especially, but when we look at the defense, not a lot of talent. They didn't really get much pressure on Joey, no sacks. Although I will say, one of the advanced analytics, what they say about Joey is that he's really good at evading pressure and navigating the pocket. Thought we saw that today, of course, along with his deep ball. But guys, I mean, I think a lot to be happy about. I know we've all had a little bit of chance to let this sink in, but I think this Syracuse team might make a little bit of noise in this ACC. I'm not saying they're going to go 9-10-2.
Negative, Ghost Rider. They're going to win 3 or 4 games, but you hold to what you're thinking. They're terrible on defense, man. I mean, terrible. They better score 50 points a game. If you guys think they're making a bowl game, you got to be kidding me.
NC State had a better defense than Syracuse.
Doubt. Syracuse got nothing. They're trash, man. No offense.
But
I love your show.
He's right about the offense.
Oh, they're very good. I love that running back.
So that could keep them in some games.
They'll score points. And Nick
guys,
knows what he's doing.
I just want to make sure I'm being understood, Tony. I'm not saying they're going to win 10 games. I'm saying 6, 7, possibly 8 at the very most.
No, I want to make sure I'm understood. They're not winning 6 games.
Win 6 games.
They will not win 6 games.
What is their non-conference schedule?
I don't care what their non-conference schedule is. They're not winning 6 games. They already have a non-conference loss.
You don't think Syracuse could win 3 ACC games?
That would be no. Negative. No. They won't beat North Carolina. How you like those apples?
Well, Tony, we'll see how that ages, and I appreciate a little bit of commentary there.
I love it, man. We're hot taking, baby. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
let's overreact after week 1.
When I watched the NC State game, I was like, "This is an FCS team." And in fact, they almost did lose to an FCS team that year.
Yes,
and I think they almost lost in week 1 as well.
Yeah, They barely beat Western Carolina. That's what I thought. NC State. People were talking about NC State last year as an ACC,
That's right.
a playoff contender, and a team that could win the ACC.
That's right.
And it goes out against Western Carolina and got outplayed. Western Carolina was the better team, so that kind of tipped us off to what the Tennessee NC State game might be.
The weird thing, though, to your point in Texas is, when you watch these games early in the year, you're kind of watching it, and you really don't know what you're looking at. Like, I could be dead wrong about Syracuse. They could go on and win 8 games. I mean, and you could be right on the money, but it's just hard to quantify any of this stuff. It just is. I'm just really impressed with how clean Tennessee was. That's what I take away from that game. And this Aguilar guy is a better fit somehow for Tennessee's offense than the quarterback they paid all that money to.
Well, he's a better fit than Joe Milton was.
Which makes no sense. It makes no sense.
That's right. And guys, I was calling since the summer with, some positive news on Aguilar and the things that I'd seen from him. And I know you've had Brooks Austin on. And he tends to like Aguilar. So good things there. We'll see. Like you guys said, you can't make heads or tails of it. Who knows? You had some good performances, some bad performances, but you don't know who you're playing against. And so we got to get more data points. So all that's good stuff. But Tony, before I go, I want to get some people excited here with the ESPN FPI that just came out. So the FPI, obviously, this is one of the power rating systems similar to what they use in Vegas for point totals and things. They tend to like the Vols. We moved up to number 8 in the FPI. And we're actually favored to win every game this year besides Georgia. How does that strike you?
All right, when we come back, I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm going to go around the room with the panel and see if they're buying, selling, or trading what the FPI is laying down. Can you smell what Bill Conley is cooking?
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Fall officially begins this month, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
A lime is not always just a lime. You see, some limes are lucky. For when a lime joins the salted rim of a crisp, refreshing Tres Dos Equis, that lime is no longer a mere lime, but a wedge of renowned Mexican limón. Muchas gracias, limón. And also, de nada. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 694-5904, or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club teams start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for
Hey,
Advent.
whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's Easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you. So I'm fired up, focused, and prepared because Friday we're going to be live, ladies and gentlemen, at Calhoun's before the ETSU game. And, look, it is our home opener. It is a celebration for the ages. We ring in the 2025 home season. We share a kinship with ETSU. I love my neighbors to the north. I cheer for them in all the sports they play. And I say if you're going to play these 1AA games, keep blood between brothers and share the money. Keep it in the state and help fund their athletic program. David Blackburn's going to join us tomorrow. But Friday down at Calhoun's on the River, we're going to have a special guest because Al Wilson's going to be with us. And I was visiting with Al the other day on the phone. And, man, there's just something about Al Wilson. I think if you took football and you personified it, you say, okay, you give me one face, one person that personifies the sport of football, it's Al Wilson to me. It's Al Wilson. He is the personification of the sport of football. And when you talk to him, he commands such a level, to this day, such a level of respect. I am so looking forward to celebrating the home season with Al Wilson. He'll be with us tomorrow, with us Friday at Calhoun's on the River. They are the taste of Tennessee. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I remember when Tennessee signed. I just remember being in the News Sentinel office.
Yep.
And this is before our website. We were print only.
Yep.
The signing class, they had all these mug shots of the guys Tennessee signed.
Yep.
And I looked at that one of Al Wilson, and kind of like what you just said. Okay, if I hadn't known who this guy was, and somebody just showed me that, I said, "Oh, that guy's a football player, and probably a linebacker."
I wrote today in the blog, and I mean this. You can take Mike Singletary's eyes and you can keep them. Give me Al Wilson's face. That photo of Al Wilson that you're talking about, even when he was in high school, but the one Tennessee ran in that press guide where it was just his face from the top of his head right on down to the bottom part of his chin. Hey, Bino, on Friday, you need to bring something like that, brah, instead of what you look like. But let's go around the room here. All right, so FPI, Bill Conley has the Vols at number 8, according to our friend in Dallas. Matt, are you buying, selling, or trading that right now? And he says that Tennessee's favored in every game. His formula says they're favored in every game with the exception of the Georgia game here. Matt, are you buying, selling, or trading that this is going to occur?
I would definitely sell that. Maybe the biggest reason would be all the injuries on defense through just one game. Luckily, they're at spots where you're pretty deep, probably your deepest positions on the team. So that's kind of a good break. But I just think if you have injuries pile up, you're already down. You had 2 starters get hurt, early Saturday, and they're both going to be out, at least this week and probably going forward. So I would sell that. But it does seem a lot more likely now than it did last week.
John, buying, selling, or trading, where are you? Their favorite in every game but one from here.
I guess I'd buy it. I mean, I don't think Tennessee is a top 8 team.
Yep.
But when I look at the schedule, and that was one of the things I thought of Saturday when I watched Alabama, and I thought, Tennessee's probably going to be favored against Alabama.
You said it all summer, and it's really true. You're really only as good as your schedule in these deals. Like Bino was talking about Florida. Florida could be better than us, but they could end up 6-6.
Oklahoma could have a top 10 team and be 7-5.
Get ground into the ground. Yeah, ground down.
It's ridiculous. You swap Oklahoma and Texas. Mm-hmm. And give Oklahoma and Texas schedule vice versa. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma's a playoff contender.
Give us Florida's schedule. I mean, it's,
God, and Florida's schedule's even tougher now after watching South Florida beat Boise State.
No doubt.
Like a drum.
No doubt.
And then Florida State's going to be a lot better than 2-10.
Well, that's true. I was texting the caller Florida who was texting me trying to rag on me the other day. And I said, listen, Florida, you just accumulated another loss on your schedule, bro. I don't know what you're popping off about Tennessee for. You're going to get your damn lunch handed to you at the end of the year.
I hope Florida calls after that comment. He's one of our best callers.
He sucks.
He's a great caller.
He's just like
I think I'm going to hold that because I want to see Tennessee play a defense that's probably better than Syracuse's and have success against it before I'm going to say they make a playoff.
So to our friend in Texas, I'm going to ask you the rest of the show. The FPI is saying, Bill Conley's people at ESPN are saying that Tennessee's favored in every game but one. From here, are you buying, selling, or trading that? Do you buy that assertion? Because to me, what that connotes is, if I'm favored, I should win a game. Now, if I'm favored and I go to Alabama, I'm still playing at Alabama. If I'm favored and I go to Florida, I'm still playing at Florida. And there is an obvious pitfall that comes with that. There's an obvious weight that comes with that. there's obviously something that comes with that.
Well, we were talking about this in preseason. One of the reasons Tennessee's schedule is not just easy by SEC standards, it's the way it's set up. When you play Oklahoma, I would rather play Oklahoma and Florida in November than September or October, simply because their schedules are so rigorous. I don't know how those quarterbacks will hold up. And both those teams are going to lean so heavily on their quarterbacks. John Mateer at Oklahoma, 30 of 37 passing against Illinois State. I think he's really good. And, of course, DJ Lagway's really good. DJ Lagway's just a terrific player. But will he hold up against that schedule? You think South Florida won't be coming after him with a vengeance?
Schedule's so advantageous for the Vols. Even the Georgia game falls at an advantageous time. It's
Sure.
his kid's first start on the road.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's advantageous. Everything about that schedule, you couldn't have crafted a better schedule for a year where you're introducing Joey football into the deal. Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
How you doing, Tony?
Hey, Billy.
Hey, John.
Hey, Bill. How's it going? Hey.
Going pretty good.
Well, Tony, after last week on Tuesday, Tony said you had a great call.
Great call.
I didn't agree, but Tony, that kind of puts pressure on you. You really need to bring something to this call.
Well, I saw somebody over the weekend, the great Gary Sturm, told me he believes you're an artist, Bill. He thinks your calls are art. So you've got a fan in Gary Sturm.
Well, thank you.
Sturm
Buddy,
without
I
a warning.
hit the nail on the head on 2 games.
Yep.
I said to you that Ohio State was going to beat Texas.
Yes.
And I also said to you that Florida State was going to beat Alabama. Florida State did not only beat Alabama, they just flat out tore their kingdom down.
Did you, Tony, can you verify that?
No, he did say that because I made fun of him and cut him off.
Oh.
So that's one thing I was glad of. I'm glad North Carolina got their kingdom tore down last night because I am not a big Bill Belichick fan.
Seeing that girl just get humiliated on national television last night was chicken soup for my soul. Listen,
that sounds cruel, Tony.
I'm not going to cheer against Nico. I've decided because I feel sorry for him. I hope Bill Belichick goes 0-11 or 0-12, however many games we're playing.
Well, if they're 0-11, they
only
might not even play their last game.
Well, they might only get 11 games if they look like that because they might just say to them, don't waste the natural resources of coming here. We'll just put you down for a loss.
Because I'll tell you, Tony, when Belichick won them world championships when he was head coach of the Patriots, I'll tell you what, he was riding Tom Brady's coattails.
Brian, do you agree or disagree with that, Brian, that Belichick is a byproduct of having the advanced scouting that the Patriots had at the time, which they were really, really cheating, and then he had Tom Brady as well, Brian? Do you buy that?
Everywhere he's been that he hasn't had Tom Brady, he's ended up getting fired.
Oh, Billy!
It's the truth.
Because the way I look at it, Tom Brady was Bill Belichick's John Wayne.
Whoa! Where did
head
that come
Well,
from?
think about this, John. Brady went on and won a world championship with a kind of woebegone Tampa team.
No, that was a talented Tampa
was
team.
It?
Yes.
Was it? What have they done since then? Oh, just check.
It was a talented
team. Billy, you're making sense today, brother.
I mean, he's the greatest coach of all time. I don't see how you can argue that.
No, Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all time.
Well, both. I mean, took both of them.
No.
You can't maintain that kind of dynasty without a great coach.
Seeing Michael Jordan up there, and they just got their junk just shoved in last night. It was so awesome.
Do you think Belichick seriously now, you guys are joking when you're criticizing him as a coach, but seriously, do you think Bill Belichick was kind of eyeing those North Carolina cheerleaders in the second half when that game got out of hand and his girlfriend looked a little older?
Billy, she was not wearing that well last night. Do you agree?
She was looking old enough for Titans Bill.
Bill, thank you. Great call.
What?
I couldn't hear. I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea at this point what's even going on here.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
Yeehaw! I've been